Joining me now is Vanessa Sturman, a health coach and speaker, and she will tell us what this ban means for shoppers, its impact on public health, and share some tips on making healthier choices. Hello, Vanessa.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Vanessa, are these new restrictions the big breakthrough that we need to tackle obesity in the UK, do you think?
I think they are a very welcome change that's needed. I think breakthrough might be the wrong word because there are so many factors when it comes to obesity and ill health, but this is a very important part of the puzzle.
So beyond advertising, what other factors are influencing people's shopping baskets?
So lots and lots of factors. There is education, there's how accessible food is, there's culture, there's genetics. Cost of living is such a huge part of this as well. And we're faced with so much misinformation online that people often don't know what to eat. And some people are even fearing perfectly healthy foods. But in terms of those special offers that we've been seeing, they have been causing a problem because they've made people buy things on impulse that are very, very high calorie. So it's wonderful that those are now not going to be able to happen. And we might actually see people influenced by healthy food deals to get more healthy foods into the trolley.
Okay, so basically, do you think, though, that healthier food needs to be cheaper than junk food, which is the other way around at the moment, isn't it, really?
In some ways, yes. So there are lots of examples where some of the junk food might be cheaper than the healthy food, but there's also lots of examples where the healthy food is quite cheap. So we know that a lot of fruit, vegetables, frozen fruit and vegetables, things like beans and lentils, they're all actually very cost effective. But some of the issues with that is that a lot of people don't know how to use them. They don't know how to add them into their food. So they are going for some of the cheaper junk food.
Yeah. Also, I will say as a mum of three, that time is a factor as well, isn't it? Because really we know that we should be doing all this meal prep with the fruit and the veg and everything and putting the time into creating healthy meals. Now, I as a mum, I look at these things like chicken nuggets and potato smileys and stuff, and I totally understand why people are like, this is quick, kids like it, put it in. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I completely agree. Time poor is one of the biggest factors as well in terms of what people are choosing. But I also think we shouldn't demonise convenience foods. If you want to buy some oven chips, frozen peas, very good for you as well. And if there's some ultra-processed things on the plate, that's just what happens sometimes to get a meal onto the table. But one of the keys is saying, well, what else can I add to this that does have more fibre, more nutrients in? We don't have to be perfect. And I think it's even worse if we make people feel bad.
Now, how can we make this easy, Vanessa, keeping healthy? Because, I was just saying before I spoke to you, I was telling listeners that I have started tracking my calories and macros and what have you at the moment. And it's been absolutely eye-opening. Now, I don't want to live like this forever, though, weighing everything. How can we make it easier for ourselves to stay on track and eat the right portions and the right things?
So I think one of the really great starting points is thinking about what we add in. I mean, some people like yourselves might find tracking helpful, but as you've already pointed out, it's not sustainable. But if we make sure what we're adding onto our plate is, for a balanced meal, lots of fruit and vegetables, we've got some carbohydrates, so we've got whole grains, root vegetables, and we've got healthy lean protein, and we want to lean a bit more towards things like the beans and lentils and tofu and reduce a bit on things like the meat. We know that we need to be doing that, and getting things like nuts and seeds on. If we can be balancing our plate a bit more like that, that helps people stay much more full, get more of the nutrients they need, and it helps them stay more within their calories, even if they're not tracking their food. And we know that only 1 in 10 people is getting the amount of fibre they need. And fibre is so important for keeping us still, helping our gut health, preventing risk of other lifestyle diseases. So my advice would be really get to that starting point where we're just adding more vegetables, more fruit, more beans, more whole grains in.
I want to just look at this through a South Asian lens for a minute. So a lot of South Asian families enjoy traditional foods that they can be rich or quite fried, basically deep fried. How can we keep those cultural dishes that we love and that are traditional, but make them healthier, I guess, without losing the flavour?
Yes, and those dishes are absolutely delicious, aren't they? And a lot of that flavour comes from the herbs and spices, which are actually very, very good for you. And what can happen with convenience is we can start veering more towards the fried snacks. So one piece of advice is to say, well, let's veer more towards the main meal. So let's get our whole grains in, big vegetable curry dishes, chickpea curry dishes, reduce a bit on things like the meat as well and bring in a bit more of the plant protein like the tofu, but keep all those wonderful flavours. Still use a bit of oil, but use a little bit less, and that's very important for some of that taste, but we can reduce a bit as well. And then when it comes to some of the fried, lovely snacks or things that go with those meals, again, have a little bit less, but perhaps use the air fryer, use the oven, just spray them with a little bit of oil. They actually taste relatively similar to the deep fried version when we actually bake them with a small amount of oil.
Vanessa, there's so much more that I could talk to you about, but we're just running out of time. But if people want more of your tips and advice, where can they find you?
Lovely. And I could talk all day about this as well. But you can find me on any social platforms. You just type in Vanessa Sturman. Lots of tips there. You can follow me. And even on Facebook, you can ask me questions and things like that. Very interactive.
Thank you so much. That was Vanessa Sturman, a health coach and speaker.